I was actually thinking about what new reading challenge I should do, but then I received a package which I even forgot that I have pre ordered, and that is Too Good to Be True by Prajakta Kohli. I think when she was rising to fame, I was not very active on YouTube. Like I do not used to watch a lot of YouTube, but my brother introduced me to her, and when I actually started watching her more when I also got to know that she also likes to read books. And there was this one video where she was recommending romance books, and I think that is like the same time when I started getting into this rabbit hole of romance books. So I think we started that journey to that rabbit hole at the same time, almost. Thing is, I personally find her personality and humor a bit relatable. Again, these things are very subjective. I'm talking about myself. So, yeah, I do find her a little bit relatable. So, the reason of me saying all of this is that I just want to clarify that there is no bias. Okay, neither I am a fan, neither I am a hater. So, my review for this book is going to be from the perspective of a reader. So, yeah, I received this book yesterday and I completed it in like a day. So when I first got to know that she's writing a book, my I actually wanted to read it. I'm not going to lie. I understand as a reader that the urge to write a book, because a lot of times when you see a scene or read a dialogue, you just as a reader you think that okay, maybe this should have played out in a different way. So I understand the urge to write a book as a reader, but so yeah, I was kind of curious to read it. My first thought about this book was like the cover is okay. I don't really pay a lot of attention to the cover. The cover is okay. It's not that great. It's not that bad. But it's okay. Okay. Can I though? Because after finishing this book, I did read some reviews and they were glorious reviews of 5 stars. So they do smell like this. I'll come on this later. Okay. So let's talk about the book first, okay? The book follows the story of Avni and Aman. Avni, she is a law student who also works in a bookstore which is owned by her best friend's family. She is a part-time worker there, and she is a book lover. Yeah, that's her whole personality. Anyways, Aman, on the other hand, he is a billionaire. Okay, I'm going to come on that later. Surprisingly, in this book, she have not portrayed him as the cold billionaire, which is a very common theme when it comes to this trope. She have made him a very warm-hearted, nice guy, which make him more unrealistic. So, anyways, they met in a bookstore where she works, and there was this instant attraction between them. And that later on, the book only follows their life, how Avni thinks that he's just so great and so good that he cannot be real, and how things are going too fast, and the other trust issue she has because she comes from a dysfunctional family, yada yada yada. So, yeah, that's how the book goes. Let's first talk about what I like about this book. Avni as a character, I like her. There is some places I find her relatable. There are few very common things between us, like she is a book lover, I'm also a book lover. She is a lawyer, I'm also a lawyer. She doesn't like rain, I also doesn't like rain. She's 23 and I do not want to talk on this topic. Initially, when the book starts, it was a bit funny because like I said, I somewhere can relate to Prajakta Kohli's own humor, and I can see her own personality in Avni. It's kind of like she's writing herself. So yeah, there's somewhere she was relatable to me. Some of her inner monologues, they were funny to me, but yeah, that's about it. That's the only thing that was bearable about this book. The problem with this book is that I have read this book before. And by that, I mean that I've read these characters before, I've read the story before. There is nothing new in this. And now, because I've already read this book, like it's been a day since I've read this book, now when I look back at it, it kind of seems like that I was reading a fan fiction of a celebrity named Aman. And yes, I did had that phase when I used to read fan fiction on Wattpad. I do not want to talk about it anymore. And that feels like because how unrealistically Aman is portrayed in this book. Okay, he's a billionaire, he's an amazing guy, he's a nice guy, he does not drink, he's a family guy, he loves his family, he comes from a very good family, his parents are amazing. Okay, everything in his life is going great. You know what he seems like? He seems like a fragment of imagination. He seems like a guy from your fake scenarios you think about before going to bed at night. I do that. I shouldn't have said that. So yeah, that's what he feel like. So the thing is, because the way he is portrayed, there is no space for me to not like him. The problem with this book is that there were certain times when I think that okay, this book is going great. The moment the characters open their mouth, I did not like them at all. I hated the conversations. I hated the dialogues in this book. You know, this book kind of feels like me when I was in school, because my father works in a government job. We move around a lot. I've studied in 10 different schools, and so the pressure of fit in was too much. And that's what this book was trying to do, trying too hard to fit in. You know, the dialogues, they were trying to be so hard to be funny and like, listen, I am someone who live under a rock, and by that I mean in this room. Okay, I am somewhere 4 years behind this world when it comes to social settings. And I was reading the conversations, which, by the way, the side characters of this book are so irritating. I did not like them at all. There was this one friend of Avni's called Maya. She was still a bit bearable because she is the most sensible one, but other than that, every character is just so irritating to me. The dialogues were so irritating to me. And I, again, back to the conversation, when I was reading their conversation between the entire group of theirs, I want to know, is this what people talk like nowadays? Because I don't know. And this, is this how you date? Is this how dating works nowadays? Because I don't know. I want to know, what am I missing? Is this what, how the world is going? How this is how we are doing this? The other thing I did not like about this book, that author did not give Avni and Aman a space to explore more when it comes to their attraction. They've only met like 2 times before for like few seconds. In the other scene, Aman was dropping Avni to her home. Might I remind you, she was a bit tipsy and it was a night. Where are your survival instinct, girl? Yeah, this I genuinely, I'm curious. Is this how dating works nowadays? Let's talk about Prajakta Koli as a writer. Okay. The thing is, when, like I said, I understand the urge to write a book. But now that I've read this book, I kind of feel like that it is just a cash grab. Because I'm not saying that there is any ghostwriter of this book or not. I don't know. Okay. You don't know. So for me, she have written this book. But the thing is, I know somewhere that she have resources. You know, she can afford a help. And the fact that this book was published under such a well-known publishing house, it doesn't help that this is what you are producing. Because she has such a massive audience and because her love for books, like it is a good opportunity for a cash grab, you know. Because if she's genuinely passionate about writing a book, I understand that she can afford trial and error, that okay, if this book doesn't work out, maybe she can write another book and maybe that would work out. But that too also on the expense of ours as an audience who would buy her book and read it. Do I want to read another book from that's the case? And personally, I don't think I want to, even if no matter how much I want to give her a benefit of a doubt as a first time writer. But like I said, the other things, if she's passionate about it, I don't personally feel like it. I just feel like it's a cash grab, and that is just sad because there are a lot of struggling writers, I feel like, who have much much better stories, who would have done much much better if they got such opportunity. I have a massive respect for writers. It's not easy to write a book. So yeah, so it's just it was sad. So if I have to sum it up, I am going to give this book like 1.5 stars. Okay. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay. The thing is that I've been reading this genre for a very long time, and I think my taste in books have changed a lot. Okay. And I have come to the point where I have started, like, drawing a critical line between what is real and what is not real. Like, my standards are not defined by a book anymore, because these are not real. Okay. Real men, they are humans just like I am. They are going to make millions of mistakes. So I don't think, if I started seeing my own relationship with someone, with my partner, or yeah, like my partner in general, through the lens of a book, I don't think I would find my happiness ever, because that's just so unrealistic. So to say that it would increase your standards in men, it's not ideal. And I just want to say to all the people who just started reading this book, just want to, yeah, say that it takes a lot of time to started drawing that line. But yeah, do not see your relationship or your partner through the lens of any sort of uh, frictional book, I would say. Because real life is obviously very different from it. And I understand that. For me also, if I talk about my experience when I first started reading the genre, it is very easy to form a parasocial relationship with the characters, and the line between real and what is not real started to get blur a bit. So, but yeah, this is like completely off topic. I just wanted to talk about it because Aman does not exist in real life. I'm not saying that good men are not there. There are, of course, there are a lot of good men out there, but it's just that the portrayal of characters, it's just unrealistic. I know I'm just being too critical about this book, but I genuinely want to just wanted to talk about it, that if you are spending your money on reading, you want to read a quality book, you know. I'm not saying that I have not read bad books. I have. But the thing is, her case is different because she has a massive audience. So the fact that this project just seems like a cash grab to me, it seems a bit sad to me. So yeah, that's why I'm being too critical about it. That's the only reason. Yeah. Lastly, I just want to say it was just my opinion. Okay, reading is subjective. It also depends on where you are in your reading phase, or um, at what perspective you read the book. So yeah, it is subjective. So if you want to read it, that's completely your choice. But if you don't want to read it, you are not missing out much. So yeah, your life would be okay without it. So yeah, that's it for today. Take care. Bye bye.